Hi there, my name is Kara. I am a nutritionist and intuitive eating counselor, and today's video is all about the wellness diet, aka the modern form of dieting disguised as the pursuit of health that may have you experiencing all the symptoms of diet backlash without realizing it. Do you see all the anti-diet stuff out there and say to yourself, I'm not on a diet, I'm just eating this way for my health? Or maybe you've been told to lose weight for your health, so even with the weight loss focus, you may think, this is for my health, it can't be a harmful diet. And maybe you're having trouble sticking with your plan you've been given by a healthcare provider, health coach, whoever it is. You may have a lot of resistance to eating foods deemed healthy, and maybe you find yourself sticking with the plan for a little bit, then falling out of it, all the while feeling like you are failing on your promise to yourself to get healthy. In recent years, there has been a lot of backlash against major players in the weight loss industry. So many studies and people have spoken out against the dangers of strict, restrictive, calorie counting diets. They're still out there for sure, but a lot of the languaging has changed to keep up with the change in public opinion about diets. This is a trend we've seen across the weight loss industry, a surge in what we call the wellness diet, a shift in focus with the same damaging effects repackaged to fit today's public opinions. So what is the wellness diet? The term the wellness diet was originally coined by Christy Harrison, who is the author of the book Anti-Diet, and she is an intuitive eating expert. And she uses this term to describe the modern form of dieting. So the wellness diet includes things like cleanses, detoxes, clean eating, cutting out all sugar or processed foods, carb restriction, and cutting out whole food groups for non-medical reasons. On the surface, these may not seem weight-focused and instead focused on the health aspects, but it still demonizes certain foods and claims a certain way of eating as morally superior. So you've been taught to feel like you are being the best version of yourself when you are on a cleanse or a detox or cutting out all sugar or whatever it is. So this is partially due to the purity aspect of these restrictive plans as they are marketed to us, and partially because it involves a lot of willpower. When you have a friend, say on their 5th day of a juice cleanse, you probably think to yourself, wow, they are so disciplined. They have so much self-control and willpower. And I can bet that their body is screaming at them to stop what they are doing. It doesn't feel good to be on such a restrictive diet. So one aspect that all of the wellness diet trends have in common with old-fashioned diets is that they are not sustainable. And I don't doubt that you may feel very physically different, maybe even a lot better when you're on a cleanse or a detox. And this probably makes you think that, oh, it's working. This plan really works. But what is your definition of work? Wouldn't you rather feel better all the time rather than just the short period? Is feeling good for a week or 10 days really worth it when you feel like you are swinging back and forth between extremes, being on or off this cleanse or detox or whatever it is? So there is nothing wrong with being interested in the well-being of your body and making choices, based on that. The problem occurs when diligent, careful eating affects a healthy relationship with food and negatively impacts your body. So if you've determined you are in fact on a wellness type diet, let's look at some of the effects of diets in general, whether it's the wellness diet or something like good old Atkins. One is decreased metabolism. The body learns to use what you give it more efficiently, lowering your body's energy needs. The body's also going to retain more fat when eating goes back to normal. The enzymes that make and store fat in the body double when you are on a low-calorie diet. You're also going to see an increase in binges and cravings, weight cycling or yo-yo dieting. Also increases the risk of heart disease and premature death. And there's also an increased risk of developing an eating disorder, which can be very serious. There's also decreased confidence and self-trust and an increase in a sense of failure and social anxiety. So, how do we get off of this diet roller coaster and stop the vicious cycle of binging, guilt-induced restriction, social isolation, and everything else that comes with it? So in my work with clients after grad school, based on what I had learned in school, I found that I was essentially prescribing the wellness diet. Clients would come to me needing to do things like lower their blood pressure or improve their cholesterol, always with the assumption that if they lost weight, their health would immediately improve. But I found that this health-focused weight loss initiative absolutely did not work and didn't feel good for me or the client. And I encountered many of these symptoms of diet backlash that I just went over. And I felt like a total failure. I had all this knowledge about nutrition and how to help people improve their health, but it only worked on paper, not in real life. In real life, we have emotions attached to food. We have trauma attached to food. We have weight bias. We have different food environments. We have varying food access. We have shame and guilt and self-judgment and all of these things that make it so much more complicated than just eat some broccoli and you'll be healthier and you'll feel good. So this was the point in my career that I found out about the principles of intuitive eating. So what is intuitive eating? Intuitive eating is a set of 10 principles written by two dietitians, Evelyn Tribole and Elise Resch, in the 1990s. So it is a style of eating based on your body's internal signals of hunger and fullness, also combined with emotion, food preference, and rational thought. So it's based on the foundation that we are born intuitive eaters. We know how to eat, but we lose that ability in a culture that is so focused on weight loss and trying to fit into a thin ideal that is both unrealistic and deeply harmful and fat phobic. So what are the proven benefits of intuitive eating? One, it is associated with a lower BMI, lower blood pressure, lower LDL cholesterol, improved dietary intake, improved psychological health, lower levels of disordered eating, higher body satisfaction and self-esteem, and decreased body preoccupation, so thinking about your body all the time, an increase in physical activity. So it turns out moving for enjoyment is a much better motivator than burning calories. So if this sounds like the better option, and you'd be right, then click the link below to be added to my email list and to get information about my course, How to Make Eating Easy, Intuitive Eating Foundations. As an email subscriber, you will receive exclusive bonuses and a hugely discounted pre-sale rate for the course through the month of May. Enjoy!